building. Marvel is back June 21st. Disney's Marvel Secret Invasion Season 1, Episode 1. We got the review, the recap, the breakdown, the reaction. And no, it's not paranoia, it's La Alpha. Of course, I'm joined with the legends themselves. We got the one and the only Prince of Debauchery, Africa 75. How you doing today, Tori?
You already know. Your local neighborhood scumbag here to give the folks their daily dose of dirtbag. Same gimmick, different day. Am I a Skrull because I just forgot my intro? I don't know. Maybe.
And we got the one, the only, the legend himself, Nostradamus himself, the Monray. How you doing today, Monray?
Hey, yo, it's your boy Monray Hudson, snacking on a little snack, and I'm ready for get grinding on Twitter. TikTok, I'm the real me.
Well, let's go.
Yeah.
The
And of course,
Twitterverse.
y'all know how we're gonna start these shows each week. Each Wednesday, we're gonna do the shows probably about at night sometime, probably about around this time, a little later, a little earlier. But we do have, like I said again, Secret Invasion Season 1, Episode 1. Let's get into the show. And like I said, we're gonna start the show off with monetization. Y'all see the Marvel background in the background. So I said monetization. I'm worried about Tori.
Yeah, I would say you was thinking.
Wait, we doing non-spoiler? Oh,
Oh, we're gonna do spoiler and then spoiler.
Well, we're doing non-spoiler the first half, spoiler the second half.
Well, I don't even know. The first half is just what we thought about the show. So, how we feel about this show? Y'all see how I felt in the title, but I'm gonna get more into that later. First off, we're gonna start out with Tori. How did you feel? What things you like? What you didn't like? Non-spoiler wise.
Alrighty. One thing that I loved about this is that this is the first time in a long time where I feel like Samuel L. Jackson, even for this first episode, he was in his bag as far as him playing Nick Fury goes. I don't think in any of the other incarnations, any of the other times he's played Nick Fury, I don't think he's went as hard as he's going with this first episode of the show. And maybe that's just because we've never gotten real deal long term focus on him, at least so far as the comics went, or so as far as the movies went. But I enjoyed it. I went into it completely ready to hate it, but Samuel L. Jackson shined through. I mean, we know how amazing he is. Emilia Clarke, top tier. The Khaleesi is sexy, whether she's got freaking white hair, short hair, Maria Hill. It's always amazing to see Maria. Love Maria Hill. And I mean, it was just the little Easter eggs that were throughout. I thought it's Marvel, so we know they're going to do them beautifully as is. But I liked how subtle these ones were, and where we had Easter eggs pertaining to the series itself, as well as the regular Easter eggs as for the comic lovers. But it was really well done. First episode, this might be the most out of all of this Marvel Disney Plus's releases. This might be one of my favorite first episodes that I've got from the show, wholeheartedly. I enjoyed it way more than I expected to.
Yeah, and of course, Tori had his opinion. Some stuff we're gonna go over, but we also have the Monray. Tell us, what did you enjoy about this first episode? What you didn't enjoy, or your thoughts just overall? You're muted.
You're muted, Monte.
Monte, you're muted.
my apologies. Of course, non-spoiler wise. So I did think the show started off a bit on the slow end. Now it was necessary for that because you had to get some understanding of the show, what it's about, and how the flow was going to go. So in hindsight, I can see that the slowness was started off was necessary. But one thing I really do like about the show, and this might sound a little dark, but it has a lot of depth in it. Like it shows the gravity of the situation by lives are going to be lost, people are going to get offed, in the different aspects of the show. Like just in the very first few minutes, like you see, that lives are not to be taken for granted. That's the best way I can put it that way. So it's just showing like, okay, the flow of the show is not everybody can be trusted. The weight of the situation combined with, the ramifications of one's choices and actions. It's just more or less of the flow that this show is going. And in that vein, I like it. Like I do like the show, but I can also tell that people that are looking for like some fast action, some Marvel set pieces on like Falcon and the Winter Soldier started off the show with Falcon stopping, some missiles and going through a helicopter, flying through all that and stuff like that. If you're looking for something like that necessarily, this is not gonna necessarily be the show for you because it has action, but the action is set up around storytelling and it's dark storytelling in it that like that's the whole flow of the show, that's the whole flow of the characters. But if you're looking for a different kind of feel of a Marvel show, something with some weight, some more seriousness, small bits of humor, but not really a lot of humor. Is mostly just even Samuel L. Jackson, even though he is a very funny comedic person, he even takes his role seriously at
But
times with certain parts. And I can appreciate that. It shows us a different side of Samuel L. Jackson as an actor. It's going to show us a different side of Marvel, and it's going back to the weight of the snap and its effects on people that's not necessarily to be forgotten about. So I can appreciate that, and I do think this is going to be one of the better shows when it comes to storytelling. I can say that just based off the first episode. I think this is going to be one of the good shows. If Fury and they keep going with the weight of one's actions and they keep going with that flow, I do think this is going to be a good and well received show, especially on the dark end. This might be the darkest show they've done yet. This might be the darkest one yet. I might even lie to you.
We're going to start the spoiler segment out when we get to the spoilers. And of course, we're going to 100% tell you why Monray said what he just said. But for me, like I said, the show was great. It felt like it was missing something. And I'm going to go ahead and I've thought about it the whole time. What I felt like it missed the lead up. I felt like Marvel's gone so long, the show could have benefited from a whole lead up to this. Got you more suspenseful, had a whole little paranoia thing that's going on. Because this the first show we even had hints that Skrulls was kind of around. Like it would be dope if we just had like hints that Skrulls was around. Then you could just start getting a little paranoid everywhere. It could have made the feeling bigger. That's the one problem, and that's not even with this show. That just in general with the whole Marvel setup. I thought it could always increase the suspense
well,
by
didn't
having
they
ramp.
sort of give us the lead up to Skrulls with Captain Marvel to a certain
But that
extent?
was all the Skrulls like the good guy. It was no hint that the Skrulls are dangerous. It was
Well, I
all
mean, but
Skrulls are friends. Even
they
in
sort
like
yeah, but they sort of made
even
it
in e-
apparent.
even in the Scarlet Witch store and all those other stores, it's the same thing. It's the just over and over again, just saying those. It's like they always the good guys, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's a bunch of bad ones too. You could just had like random stuff that you could have hinted at. Had random in Captain the Captain
But at
America.
least they gave them a reason for why. Because like if you
I
think
like it about the show. Like this is not a complaint about the show. This is just complete.
The only thing I would say to defend Zelmay's point is that I think the timing for this show might have been slightly better if it was maybe like before or after WandaVision, well, a little bit closer to the Captain Marvel movie, so it's a bit fresher in people's minds rather than like 3 years later,
well,
where the only mentions of the Skrulls is in like a Captain Marvel movie that came out like 4 years ago. That not a lot of people are really going to remember the pull and tie-ins to when it comes to Fury not being, on Earth or anything like that. So that's the only thing I can say. Like it would have been a better tie-in because the hints and references that we have to it would have been fresher in our minds. But no, outside of that, yeah, I get to it.
yeah, but it's only episode 1 too, so I
Mhm.
always try to reserve judgment till episode 2 or
But
3.
but that ain't my I
No,
love
no, I
episode
know.
one. But I'm just saying for just for the Marvel universe, I felt like it would have had more weight if you were like, oh, they've been around. They just been
Yeah, but
all
you gotta admit they threw some weight. They threw some weight on at the end of
oh
this
they built
first
they
episode.
built it up. But the things I liked about the show, I actually liked the slow build. I liked the build up of paranoia. I I kind of felt like it could have happened a little earlier, but I
But
love the
think
build up of paranoia.
it was it, it was kind of justified in the end, even with all the paranoia, which is what made it even better.
Yeah, we're gonna go over a lot of this different stuff in a minute, but yeah, it's a slow build. Slow to they explain why a bunch of things happened. They explain why the situation turned with the Skrulls turned the way it did. You saw Nick Fury come back for the first time, resurrected, as the episode said. He come back down to Earth, and the whole way he said he'll ever come back down is for one reason. And of course, I got our guy Everett Ross showed up, even though it wasn't Everett Ross. because we know he's up in he with the Black Panther name over there in Wakanda.
Well,
So
we don't know for sure if that's where he's at. That's where we last saw him.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he should be able to because he's a wanted man in the U.S. government. So I'm pretty sure he won't be in the United States. So it's interesting they did. We saw a bunch of different stuff. So you saw those old characters that made you familiar with the MCU in a more grounded way, and I liked it. And it gave you the sense of thrill. And Samuel Jackson, to Tori Point, did amazing. He played the weight so well of all his of the blip. Because there's already time I can talk about this. He played the weight really well of the blip and how it affected him and how he don't want to come back to Earth. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna learn more throughout the series on that. So, anybody else got something before we get into the spoilers?
Oh no, I'm waiting on it.
All right, we do got a little bit of news. Before we get into that, let's go over that. So we do have Marvel is out of San Diego Comic-Con. No Hall C appearance this year. For the first time in 6 years, they will not be at San Diego Comic-Con. They are saying that the reports are saying D23, the Fantastic Four, not Final Four, Fantastic Four will be announced there, and we done heard rumors and a bunch of stuff about this. So, anybody thoughts on Marvel being out of San Diego Comic Con? We know the writer's strike and all that's going on too, so it might slow a bunch of projects down. We've seen some delays already.
The only thing I could think of is that maybe they're getting in on another showcase. Maybe there's you never know when the mouse is involved, but it is weird.
I mean, to me, it's more like they don't really have. I mean, they may, but in my opinion, I don't think they really just have much to show. Like, they gave the delays out earlier this year. They already tweeted the schedule for this year. You're gonna get all the Echo. You got the start of Loki. Push back the Marvels. Like, they don't really have much else to show. So it's just like, why would they? In my opinion, it's like they don't really need a showcase. Because they already announced the pushbacks and all the other kind of stuff. They don't really need a showcase. They can just like Afro Economy said, borrow on somebody else's showcase to show maybe like the first trailer for not Daredevil, Deadpool 3 and be done with it. Like, they don't really need their own booth necessarily. So I might be with him.
Deadpool is filming. They also, the other show, Thunderbolts is like Thunderbolts. I don't think they're gonna have nothing for that.
Yeah,
I think
and who's playing Thaddeus Ross? Isn't it Harrison Ford playing Thaddeus Ross in the Thunderbolts?
That is the rumor. So that's the one thing they are doing. So they said they're gonna be there, but it won't be a whole presentation.
Yeah.
They said Marvel will be there, but it will not be a presentation. And D23, they said it's gonna be big for them. And plus, like I said, the writer strike is going on. It's hard to like.
Yeah, I mean, they just really don't. I just think they really don't need it. They don't feel the need to have a big presentation at both D23 and San Diego. It's just like, look,
you got to think as the writers' strike goes on, all it's gonna do is affect more TV shows and stuff like that more and more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Other news before we get into the spoilers. Jonathan Majors trial 2 days after my birthday, day after my co-host and I'll be that birthday. So August 3rd, the trial of Jonathan Majors. We will, of course, cover that. Any thoughts on the trial? Anything y'all think before we go to it?
I just want justice to be served. Like, whichever way, whoever did what, just let justice be served. That's all I can say neutrally.
Yeah. Free my boy Johnny Major up out the clink.
Yeah, so that's just some Marvel news. I know we ain't did Marvel Mondays, and we got a lot of stuff going on.
We was Kangs. We was Kangs, nigga.
But this is what y'all here for. Let's get in that spoiler talk. If you do not want spoiler talk, if you just want to hear the reviews, get out right now. By the way, this is the month Jonathan Majors. I forgot to put it up, but this is the big spoiler right here. We finally had a major death since what's his name, Coulson?
Yeah.
In the MCU, I think. Yeah, pure death. That's just not some happy like Iron Man ritual death or something. We had like one that like
they took my girl.
By the way, she is one of the most. If y'all don't know, Maria Hill is one of the most important.
She's been there since 2012, 2011.
They took my girl. Episode 1,
bruh. It was heavy. I was like, God damn, not Maria.
Even
I did not expect the ending of the episode. I did not
at all. I didn't either. They got me with the shock and awe.
Even her Skrull got took out.
Yeah, and that's what I was like. They made sure to drive this home because we know that the Skrull that was pretending to be her during the Spider-Man Far From Home is dead too. So there's not even
By
a
these
chance of her.
same people, by the way.
Yeah,
So
Like
they making these people a legit threat.
I did not. I just said like you can see now the weight of the decisions and all that. Like, hey, this is serious. Like, you might not make it through this. Like to me, it gives a symbol of realism. Of like, hey, Nick Fury is just they're just humans, and they're dealing with
yeah.
aliens that can shapeshift, that can smooth them over in one wrong move, pop. And I'm just like, they took my girl. I ain't gonna lie, that hurt.
Yo,
That
this
It's
hurt.
scene
good to
right here.
see street level interactions though. After we've been in the multiverse for so long with gods and cosmic deities,
Especially a
and
breath of fresh air. Like, but to
you
me,
know, you know what I mean. It's change of pace for real.
it shocked. It like I said, that shocked me because like the whole ending sequence like definitely confused me and it put sort of realism of like, hey, these people can change to be like anybody, and you can be caught slipping and not realizing, and just like, hey, we done went
Yeah.
down to 2 already, and we got at least 5 more episodes. I don't know how many episodes it's gonna be for this show, but just we done went down to 2 already, and the whole running sentiment of this episode that they was trying to build us up for and trying to warn us, and in hindsight we see it now, but we didn't really realize was everybody was telling Fury. You're not ready for this. This is
Yeah,
serious. This is a threat. This is something like old you would have been on top of in a heartbeat. You now, you not here. Maria shortly was like, Fury, go back to the spaceship. Like, this is not it. I'm just like, and now you look at the ramifications of how serious it is when they like, bro, you not ready. Next thing you done lost one of your own close to you. And she already was like, you ain't even you. You've been separated from me. You ain't spoke to me in years. Like, you've been cut off. You got your own personal stuff going on. And now you trying to step back into this. Like, bro, either you get ready or you get gone. We
Yeah.
done lost one. And then I still got to think, like, is Talon's daughter the ops? Like, I still got to figure out if she the ops or not. Because, she spray painted the bags, but the bags was
shout out to
freaking
Khaleesi.
they were freaking decoys, and I don't know if she knew if they were decoys or not. Like, did she intentionally lead them off so that they can get the bomb off, or did she like not know that they were dead? Like, I don't know if she the
That's
ops
such
or
a good
not.
storytelling,
Is
Monte. It's
old
such a
boy
good storytelling.
playing her, or is she?
Like,
It's.
it's something like I don't know. I don't
I
know if she
like her
playing
in
both
this role
sides.
though. I
Yeah, I
love
like her
Amelia
role. It's
Clark
just
in this role.
I don't know. Like I say, it's so much because now this makes me think. Okay, eventually Fury and Fury and Talos, they're gonna come to blows. Like they're gonna come to it because now it's gonna be like Talos gonna be like, bro, that's my daughter. I can't do it. And Fury gonna be
And
like, bro,
Fury
you
like,
can't
I'm
do
finna
it.
end her.
Fury, like, I can't trust her, bro. Like she just set us up,
Full of
fam. I
holes.
lost Maria because she got it wrong, fam. And it's just like,
Do
Oh
bro,
no, I think you're gonna blame her. I think you're just gonna be
you?
mad. I
But do
want
you
to kill
guys
her.
think that? Do you think
it,
Maria's last words? Do you think that it was you? Was it her freaking
Oh, that's so
thinking?
good too.
What was it? Her thinking that he had
You don't
really
know.
shot her? She had really been killed by Nick Fury, or was it her telling him that there's someone out there that can look like you?
who knows at this point? I mean,
It's so good too. You
them
don't know.
words gonna haunt him. Like them words gonna haunt him. He gonna hate the fact like he gonna feel like he messed up because he already feels like that he says like he took the weight of what happened and he blames himself and stuff like this. So now
Yep.
he gonna really blame himself for losing her. She was like the only person that he was close to, no other than Talos, but really the only one he was close to left. And now
But
it's just
think
like
like in the chess game leading up to it, like they foreshadowed it to a lot to a certain extent, from her being the white pieces to freaking everything everything in between.
it's gonna be dark. It's gonna be dark, boy. Now,
Yeah.
do I think we'll have any more like super serious deaths? Unless they bring somebody in, I doubt it.
We
But
did
this
have
was a
another
good
death.
way to.
But you got to
It,
think it's secret invasion. So, and most of the, I know we're not going by the comic book canon, but you got to think most of that was literally the Skrulls had taken over the years. And we know they've been there at least since 1995, whenever, or later than that, when freaking Captain Marvel happened.
I'm just happy more or less that
So
like
if they're hiding as a bunch of superheroes, we could find out anybody who's been a. Because think in that long of a time, anybody could have popped in. You know what
no,
I
I think
mean?
it's good. I think this is just a wonderful way to set the tone. Like, hey, like you never know. Somebody will roll up. It could be the op and you human. He already got that bad leg.
Think
He finna have to
Barack
put that mug in the
Obama's a
shape.
Skrull, bruh. We found out in Secret Invasion. You know what I mean?
So it's finna be something. I think this is a good way to set the tone. Like, hey, We hear this is a serious threat that already took out one of the important ones. Hey, either get with it or you getting offed.
Avengers took a major L, bro. They lost
We
one of the
might
greatest
lose
support
Nick Fury by
characters.
the end of this, bro. You never know. We might lose Fury. So
Listen,
You
we
guys
got
think we get a Howling Commandos reunion during this show?
who knows?
well, we
Werewolf by Night? Aren't they supposed to be making a Werewolf by Night?
they already made it.
They did
Oh,
it.
did they?
I enjoyed
they
it a lot, by the way.
They did. They did. Damn. Then they should definitely just go ahead and do a freaking Howling Commandos reunion.
By the way, this is how the show started. This gave a good bit of suspense when you didn't realize that was Talos, and you realized the other guy was trying to trick him, and then they were on that chase with Maria. They knew where he was. They were looking for him. That was a good scene. Like we said, this scene right here hit hard because you thought she found Nick Fury and she just helped that kid. Because the thing they always said, she was soft and helping people, so she could. So basically, she
And
could have
that's
got
what
away.
got her. She was helping. She helped somebody up off the ground, and bada bing, bada boom.
We had some. We don't know if any of these people the president or Brody. We don't know if any of these people Skrulls.
Well, we know in the comic book that most of the presidents they showed on the walls were Skrulls.
So this scene was very dope. It had a great effect. Even you can see it right here. That little hit when he saved them. This also Maria wasn't the only death. We had this dude, which they took care of him quickly.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the name. Do you guys remember the
knocking
girl?
them off, boy.
The girl that was in this that was wearing like the pink sweater dress thing. God, I can't remember what her name was. But I only say that because I was looking through before the episode, and I guess that girl, whatever her name was, she's actually like the granddaughter of one of the Howling Commandos. That's what made me think about the Howling Commandos reunion.
Are you talking about her when she kidnapped Nick Fury?
Her. She is the granddaughter of one of the Howling Commandos that were with God dang Nick Fury. So that's the only reason that I was thinking about the whole.
Her dad was with Captain America too. We found that out from just doing my research. So her dad was one of the people with Captain America back then. So she basically kidnapped Nick Fury, told him he wasn't ready for this, and that it was all a thing.
Yeah.
So I actually, like I said,
he wanted to get to Moscow though. He got what he wanted.
By the way, Emilia Clarke killed us. I didn't know whose side she was on the whole time. I'm like, oh, is she gonna go back to Daddy? And then when he hit her with, "Don't blame me. It's you with the people that killed your mom. So I don't know what you talking about."
Yeah.
Talos got a little mad when she's like, "Dude, it's your fault."
They tried to get us into our feels super early with this series. They're like, we're gonna make up for She-Hulk, folks. I promise.
Yeah, look like we might they said Quake might come back, so Daisy might come back. We might see her from Agents of Shield, so we'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, these some good scenes right here when they speaking talking about it. He was explaining that they trying to get a bomb so they can start a war between Russia and America, so they don't have to go to war and they can just take care of the problem without them. Because to be honest, they don't really want to fight the Avengers. So they're like, yo, if Avengers ain't gonna get involved if they destroy them.
If we can do this without the Avengers getting them, but that comes into them in original Secret Invasion, them taking the shape of the different superheroes. And that's when we got the Super Skrulls, and they were actually then able to copy the heroes' powers.
We did see something similar with this when they had the little robot machine and they could take whatever in their mind. So I don't know if that's gonna come into. They couldn't do it with Captain Marvel, but I'm interested to see if they can actually, if they did find a superhero, could they take his power? Maybe Daisy Quake.
If we're gonna get to Super Skrull, they'll have to.
Maybe if we get Daisy Quake. So maybe we get Daisy Quake or somebody like that, and some of them like normal people that we can probably copy their powers, and it won't like if they copy copy Thor powers. I'm sorry, ain't nobody. Nick Fury is getting owned.
They copy powers too. I don't think they copy powers. They copy powers too, bro. It is a wrap. Like they're not gonna make it through there without some help. But I don't think they copy powers.
Well,
I think they only copy the appearance.
Super Skrulls are the ones that can copy powers.
Well, technically, there's nobody on planet Earth.
Well, what if they bust out a Super Skrull?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That could be what they're building to in the show.
Yeah, they want, but they ain't gonna do they'll do Daisy Quake or somebody like they ain't gonna
But
do
think
like
if you're just impersonating a superhero that has super strength, well, the Skrulls have super strength naturally. So it's like somebody like a Luke Cage. You know what I mean? Fucking he's super strong and he's bulletproof. Well, I mean,
yeah. So I'm very interested to see where they go with that.
That's about all I got though.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. We saw them.
strong first episode.
I want to show the machine. I want to show all that stuff. By the way, this scene I want to do this. This scene hit me when it was like the little girl kept showing up and he stopped.
Yeah, the
I was
girl with the
so
rainbow
confused at
ball.
that.
Well,
I
I
don't
think
know
it
if it
was
be a trap.
what was Homeboy's name? I keep on thinking it was like
Uh,
Jarek.
is it Danzig?
See, I was thinking it was Jarek for some reason,
It might
but
be Gansik, like Gansik. It
yeah,
might.
okay. But we see all the people that he switched through. We had seen them all earlier in the episode, from the little girl to the ball.
To the girl, woman kissing a man.
Yeah, the woman that was kissing and the
They was in the bar when they were playing chess.
Yeah.
So this dude was literally watching Nick Fury the whole time playing
But
the
he's
game.
the leader of the radical Skrull side, right?
By the way, he killed his role. He was like, "Are you doing it for me or the cause? You are the cause." And he was like, "Shut up." I'm like, this dude's so alpha. And plus, he the dude you saw in the trailers when Talos met him and like, I'm gonna stop you, and then like 1,000 of them just showed up. I think that shit gonna be so dope when it happens. Anything else we got before that? I just want to make sure I got through all the important part.
I'm good. I'll leave some stuff for next week.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm intrigued to see where it goes. I'm optimistic,
I did hate this AIR at the beginning. I did hate
they're coming. They're like, we're gonna make up for She-Hulk, folks.
But I'm intrigued. I saw a lot of people. This got 60%, and She-Hulk got 80% on the previews. I'm like, ain't no way. So I don't trust. Don't ever trust.
Well, this show was dark, and She-Hulk, she had the Hulk, showing support for, the previews and all that kind of stuff, and what people
we got
thought.
a reverse mullet scar, Monte.
No, that was just about what's the name? They were about the preview before it came out. So I think people are gonna probably give this a better review than they did. It's because I'm intrigued.
We're getting a Thunderbolts movie, right?
Yes, it's gonna be what's the name gonna be the main villain, and
the president and freaking the president in this first episode, then he'll have to die at some point in time, because we know Thaddeus Ross becomes the president when he leads the Thunderbolts.
Well, he might do it. I don't know. I don't know how they could do it while the Thunderbolts movie going on. So
or we find out the president's a Skrull.
Yeah,
and then it leaves it wide open freaking for Ross to get in there.
But it's a lot that can happen. I'm intrigued. I don't even want to speculate too much because I didn't expect this to happen.
Speculation's half the fun, though, man.
It is, but this is fun. Tori wants to speculate. We'll do this. Let's make it 30. We 20 minutes. One last thing before we go. Who else dies in this show?
I think Monte might have hit it on the head at the beginning, or it might have been you. But I think Nick Fury could go out. I think we could lose Nick Fury before this is all said and done.
Does Talos become the new Nick Fury?
This might not be one.
Oh, that isn't there. Monte, you got anybody else besides Nick Fury that might pass? Does Talos die? Talos good.
Yeah,
they might all go, but I mean, I don't really know.
They don't kill off Amelia Clark.
I think they might introduce, a person or two, maybe. Or
hold up, Nick Fury can't go because he's technically in the Marvel's trailer.
Oh,
man, we don't know when that happened. Though. That could happen.
He survived that.
Oh yeah, he was on the spaceship when he was on the spaceship.
Yeah, we don't know when that happened, so
So yeah, that's true.
Well, he looks different though.
Yeah, he looked like he did when he was on the spaceship when he came back from the Marvel, from the other show. So maybe this is after that. But technically, we know the Marvels happened before this by a good bit, and then they switched spaces. So I'm presuming the Marvels happened probably maybe before this.
I think they're saying the Marvel. I think they said the Marvels is going to be after this with them.
Well, y'all can let us know in the comments. It is interesting. Nick Fury is there, but if he passed away, and that's gonna make that movie way more interesting. Because I'm like, so this did happen before. But it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of people. Talos can go. If Monte get right and everybody go, that's a dark ending.
They want to reset the universe and bring some new people in.
Like her Daisy take over Shield or whatever it's called now. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Or
Sword or whatever.
Monica Rambeau could take over. She actually did it before. She was actually the leader in the comic book. So Monica Rambeau can be the leader of Shield or whatever it's called. So she can go back to her role. Yeah. But Monte, tell them where they can find you. Anything else you got up this week? All of it.
I mean, you know, Blur Cartel over on 99 Media. Brother Dudes is Monray Hudson. Wherever you find me, Monray Hudson is most likely where I'm gonna be at. Come see what I got to say.
Prince of Debauchery, where can we find you at?
You already know. At AfroCommy765 on all platforms. Of course, on Overall 99 Media, being an Overall 99 scumbag. Wrestling shows Friday, maybe Saturday. Depends on if we decide to watch Collision full time or not. But you know the vibe. Something flagrant, something inflammatory.
Yeah, Collision was good this weekend. Of course, you know you can find me overall 99 Media, overall 99 Anime, overall 99 something other, GDC Mafia, all the different stuff. You can find me everywhere. I'll be that news. We got a crazy story tomorrow. We talking about Severed Hell. Dale, strange things are happening. All kind of crazy stuff happening. Go watch that. Go follow I'll Be That News and everything else. I appreciate y'all. We got Tori. You think they know where to find?
Maybe, but if not, freaking, they're still gonna ask the question they always ask. But
What did they ask again?
Who are these niggas?